The symphony of a modern woman's life. In the vast tapestry of life, there's a story that resonates deeply with many, yet often goes untold. It's the story of a woman, embodying various roles: a mother, a partner, an employee, an entrepreneur. Originating from the South, making her mark in the West, she dances between cultures, seeking a delicate balance. This tale isn't just hers. It mirrors the journey of countless women across the globe, striving for equilibrium among the multifaceted aspects of their lives. Hey there, welcome to a story that might just resonate with your own. A tale of resilience, ambition, and the pursuit of harmony in the whirlwind we call modern life. Inspired by Ayn Rand's bold assertion, the question isn't who is going to let me, it's who is going to stop me. We're diving into the life of a woman who's much like you and me, yet extraordinary in her journey. Imagine a woman who embodies a blend of roles as diverse as the colors of a sunset. She's a mother, navigating the daily joys and trials of parenting. A partner, sharing a dance of love and growth. Employee, entrepreneur, each performed with an often unnoticed grace, a melody of dedication that resonates far beyond the walls of her home. Originating from the South and evolving in the West, her life is a dance between cultures, a quest for balance on a tightrope stretched between traditional expectations and individual aspirations. This woman, in her daily struggle, is not alone. Her reality, shaped by the fusion of cultures and daily challenges, mirrors that of many others around the world. Whether in the West, in the countries of the South, or elsewhere, women share a common bond: the ceaseless search for a balance between the multiple facets of their existence. The sunrise marks the beginning of a new challenge, an endless cycle where each completed task seems to call for another. For these women, work does not limit itself to the hours spent at the office or the company. It continues at home, relentlessly, in a world where domestic help and familial support are not always within reach. They carry the weight of the world on their shoulders, juggling professional responsibilities, personal aspirations, and family needs. At dawn, before the world awakes, she rises, embracing a routine that pushes her to her limits. The 9-to-5 job, often extended by the magnitude of tasks, is just the tip of the iceberg. The daily commutes, challenges in themselves, transform her days into 12-hour marathons, not to mention the time needed to prepare the children in the morning, in a race against the clock to avoid traffic jams, symbols of her daily struggles. In this environment, she faces a frustrating but common reality. Hired for a position described as basic, she discovers that the tasks require a thorough use of her academic skills, without her compensation reflecting the complexity of her work. This widespread practice of minimizing her qualifications to justify a lower salary imposes challenges well beyond what was described to her, without adequate recognition or financial compensation, placing her in a glaring contradiction between the value of her work and the recognition accorded to her. Faced with this devaluation, she remains determined to prove her worth, turning each project into an opportunity to demonstrate the significance of her skills, choosing to focus on the quality of her work and her ability to meet these unexpected challenges, thus affirming her professionalism and commitment despite the obstacles. West, where she has chosen to build her life, she observes that her peers, natives to this land, benefit from an intrinsic family support network. Grandparents, uncles, and aunts provide invaluable help, a breath of relief in the whirlwind of family and professional life. Of course, this assistance is not universal, but its mere existence highlights a significant divergence from her own reality, where family can be distant and domestic help a financially or practically unattainable option. This dichotomy extends to the nuances of the social system. The West, with its allocations and support for families in difficulty, seems to offer a safety net for those at the economic spectrum's extremes. However, she finds herself in the shadow of this institutional benevolence, belonging to the middle class, too well off to benefit from social aids intended for the most destitute, yet not wealthy enough to navigate life without considering every expense. This intermediate position, far from being an advantage, represents a constant struggle to maintain a precarious balance, juggling the needs of the present and the aspirations for the future. This condition is exacerbated by a social context that glorifies professional success while implicitly dictating strict criteria for household maintenance. She shares the daily life of many Western women who, despite the appearance of acceptance of gender equality and women's rights, still face constraining traditional norms and encounter obstacles in their quest for professional and personal fulfillment. These women often find themselves facing a societal dilemma to reconcile their ambitious careers with the demands of a harmonious family life. In this context, aspiring to succeed in both areas is a real challenge, testifying to the complexity of achieving a satisfactory balance in a society that does not always offer equivalent support or equal opportunities to their male counterparts. In contrast, the situation of women in many Southern countries is distinguished by enhanced family support, bolstered by domestic workers' help, freeing these women from the daily concerns related to household chores. Without the pressure to ensure that the housekeeping, cooking, children's preparations, room tidying, laundry, or shopping are done, they have the freedom to invest their time as they wish, whether in personal activities or precious moments with their family. This assistance allows them to escape the stress caused by household duties, including for those who choose to fully dedicate themselves to managing their home, a role I perceive as a full-time job, both noble and demanding. However, it is important to note that this situation is not universal. Various factors prevent some women from accessing this type of support. But the complexity of her life doesn't stop there. As a wife, she navigates the sometimes turbulent waters of conjugal life, seeking to weave quality moments with her spouse, despite the exhaustion that envelopes her evenings. Household chores, those thieves of time and energy, accumulate in a corner of her mind, haunting her with their constant presence. She then decides to focus on the essentials, leaving behind a list of unfinished tasks, a monument to her daily battles, a symbol of what could be accomplished if only time, strength, and priorities aligned. These efforts, far from being just another task, are essential to maintain the fragile balance of her personal and family life. Nights are short, disrupted by the children's awakenings, and moments of rest are rare, stolen from a sleep that refuses to come easily. Advice on children's schedules, especially for the little ones, sometimes seems disconnected from reality, where discipline is not always easy to establish. Despite everything, if by chance the children fall asleep around 9 or 10 p.m., sleep does not come easily for those who, like her, struggle to fall asleep, lying down at midnight and waking up at 5:30 a.m. The nocturnal awakenings of the children, especially for those with light sleep, further disturb the rest, making sleep even more difficult to find. In this context, easy criticism dissolves in the face of the raw reality of her existence. Compared to other women, her life is a complex ballet of choices and sacrifices, where each decision carries the weight of its consequences. She is often judged against realities foreign to hers, in a world where domestic help and family support are not givens, but inaccessible luxuries. This daily routine, marked by the desire to develop a business in parallel, underscores her aspiration for autonomy as the key to her personal fulfillment. An entrepreneur at heart, she juggles the demands of her business, seeking moments of tranquility amidst the chaos to advance her projects, often at the cost of sleepless nights and exhausting days when the entire household is asleep. Because she does not want her personal aspirations to disrupt the little family balance she manages to find, despite the fatigue and sacrifices it entails. Embarking on entrepreneurship, for her, is less a question of perfect balance than a pursuit of deep passion. Despite the considerable sacrifices it entails, the days stretch far beyond normal working hours, constantly mixing professional, family, and personal responsibilities. Far from having already achieved an ideal harmony, she is in constant search of a future where her thriving business will allow her to leave behind the exhausting routine of 9 to 5 to fully embrace the life she envisions. Her daily life as an entrepreneur is punctuated with countless challenges, from raising funds necessary for the growth of her business to managing an increasingly demanding clientele, all while trying to maintain a presence within her family. Every overcome obstacle is a victory indeed, but also a reminder of the many compromises made along the way. The solitude of entrepreneurship, although sometimes burdensome, is for her synonymous with freedom. It's the opportunity to embark on ambitious projects at her own pace, without having to meet the restrictive expectations of an employer. The moments spent working on her business, though stolen from sleep and family time, are invested in the hope of a future where her professional success will offer her the possibility to live on her terms. In this adventure, every small success is a breath of fresh air, an encouraging sign that her hard work is bearing fruit. However, far from considering herself as having already perfectly combined an ambitious career and a fulfilled family life, she sees each day as a further step towards her ultimate goal, a flourishing business that will guarantee her the financial and temporal freedom to fully devote herself to her loved ones and her passions. Thus, the journey of the businesswoman is not so much a celebration of achieved balance, but rather the expression of a constant struggle and a tenacious hope. She continues to move forward, fueled by the conviction that her commitment and perseverance will eventually open the door to the future she ardently desires, a future where today's sacrifices will be rewarded with a richer and freer life tomorrow. The repetitive reality of each day is not without consequences. Stress slowly seeps in, marking her physical and mental health with indelible traces. This leads to physical exhaustion, weight gain due to lack of time for oneself, and a sense of chaos despite all the efforts expended. In her ceaseless endeavor to reconcile professional ambitions, entrepreneurial aspirations, and family obligations, her body and mind end up paying the price for this illusory quest for balance. Alarm signals, such as sleep disturbances, concentration difficulties, and persistent fatigue, become constant companions, highlighting the hidden cost of her perseverance. The moments of respite, increasingly rare, no longer compensate for the frenetic pace to which she subjects her body. Nutrition and physical exercise essential for well-being are often relegated to the background, exacerbating a vicious circle where each day becomes a growing challenge. Faced with this unsustainable reality, a visit to the hospital becomes inevitable. Migraines, once sporadic, transform into a constant, merciless headache, undermining her ability to concentrate and stay productive. The diagnosis of physical stress is a stark reminder that her current lifestyle is unsustainable in the long term. This realization marks a turning point. She understands that acknowledging her vulnerabilities and seeking help are not signs of weakness, but acts of courage. Admitting that she cannot continue on this path without compromising her health motivates her to reconsider her priorities and redefine her limits. The road to healing and a better life balance is strewn with obstacles, but also possibilities. She commits to daily well-being practices, such as meditation, regular exercise, and a balanced diet, seeking ways to reduce her stress. Learning to delegate, to say no, and to place her health at the heart of her decisions becomes crucial. This period of reflection and adjustment initiates a new phase of her journey, where she is guided not only by the will to succeed, but also by the wisdom to recognize and respect the limits of her own body and mind. She discovers that true resilience lies not in unshakable endurance, but in the ability to rise, adapt, and move forward, armed with greater wisdom and renewed attention to her well-being. Through this journey of obstacles and victories, I have gleaned a few nuggets of wisdom, practical advice forged in the crucible of experience. These lessons, learned through the challenges faced, could illuminate your own path, offering not only inspiration, but also concrete tools to navigate the complexities of modern life. These strategies, ranging from time management to mental health preservation, are the fruits of my struggles and successes. They aim to arm you with resilience, encourage you to set healthy boundaries, and remind you of the importance of cherishing and prioritizing your well-being amidst the incessant demands of daily life. 1. Time management and priorities. Learning to prioritize tasks and commitments is crucial. Using tools like planners or planning apps can help visualize where your time goes and reallocate your efforts towards what truly matters to you. 2. Setting boundaries. Clearly defining your boundaries, both professional and personal, is essential for maintaining your well-being. This means knowing how to say no to excessive demands and protecting your time for activities that rejuvenate you. 3. Self-care. Physical and mental health should be a priority. Regular practices such as physical activity, a balanced diet, meditation, or simply moments of relaxation can have a profound impact on your ability to manage stress. 4. Seeking support. Whether from family, friends, or professionals, never underestimate the importance of a support network. Sharing your challenges and seeking advice can provide new perspectives and reduce the feeling of isolation. 5. Continuous learning. Every trial carries lessons. Take the time to reflect on your experiences, both successes and failures, to extract valuable lessons that will guide your future steps. 6. Flexibility and adaptation. The ability to adapt to changes and remain flexible in the face of the unexpected is a valuable skill. It allows you to navigate life's uncertainties more easily. 7. Celebrating small victories. In the pursuit of big goals, don't forget to recognize and celebrate your successes along the way. These moments of joy boost your motivation and remind you why you embarked on this journey. Despite the obstacles, she perseveres, fueled by the hope of a future where balance is not a distant dream, but a tangible reality. In her quest, she embodies strength and resilience, refusing to be defined by circumstances or expectations. Thus, her reality stands out distinctly from those observed in other cultures, marked by specific challenges and limited resources. Yet, far from being defeated, she draws strength and resilience from this constant confrontation between cultures, expectations, and economic realities, which define her journey. She lives, works, and dreams in a world that does not always recognize the full extent of her struggles, but she moves forward, driven by hope and determination, writing her own epic every day, in search of a balance and harmony that are uniquely hers, in the hope of a future where the light at the end of the tunnel is not just a metaphor, but a tangible promise. In the story of this woman, we see the reflection of our own battles to balance the multiple roles society assigns us. Her perseverance and resilience in the face of a demanding daily life and a society that always demands more. InspiringWomen. Every day, she rises with the conviction that her inner strength can lead her to a future where balance is not just an ideal, but an attainable reality. This story is an invitation to all people to share their own story, to find comfort and strength in our collective solidarity. Your voice is important. Your story deserves to be heard. Together, let's explore and celebrate our resilience, moving step by step towards a tomorrow where every woman can live fully, free to define her own path.